Alright, Lions, so in less than 12 hours time, we are going to be getting one of the craziest banners to ever release in Bleach, right? It's a banner that a lot of us have been wanting for a very long time, especially since the anime has returned since 2022. It was a banner that we wanted to happen, but quite frankly, thought maybe it would never actually happen. And if you missed the whole situation that is going on, we know what the upcoming end of month banner is going to be. It appears to be a swimsuit version of Candice, Menina, and also Bambietta. The reason why we know this is because Caleb themselves put the audio files into the game, and you're actually able to hear their summon quotes, their attacks, and also, of course, their soul bombs. We have no idea what type of character they are going to be, not officially at the very least. We have no idea what they're going to do, and we have no idea how they actually look. We find that out tomorrow in the morning, at least for me in the UK. Now, these videos prior to a banner coming out is usually our prediction video where we try and guess the character. And truth be told, my prediction going into this banner before even seeing these data mines is that 1, it was going to be either a Yoruichi as like the main highlight, 2, Burn the Witch swimsuits, which doesn't appear to be happening this year, or, Bambietta swimsuits. Those are the 3 big ones, and more so the Bambietta group and also Burn, which were again big once, and not something I actually fully expected to happen. But instead of talking about who the characters might be for this upcoming banner, since we know it's Bambietta, Candice, and also Menina, let's instead talk about what type of character will they actually be, what skills they're going to get, what archetype of a character they will fulfill, and in general, how good will they actually potentially be. Now, lucky for us, and this seems to be the pattern now going into every end of month banner, is that Caleb do actually post the Limit Breaker news a lot earlier, before the banner goes live. And remember, every given month we get a Limit Breaker character, and slot 1 is always for that one of those end of month characters. So every month now, going into an end of month banner, we get to kind of tease little what type of character one of these characters will be. Now, traditionally, for the record, swimsuit banners, at least the last 2 years, have been some of the best farmers in the entire game, and all 3 characters have been farmers, whether they're Links or farmers plus 10, or really good super Links or farmers. And the theory actually, especially because they did recently erase Mugetsu, the theory is that Mugetsu would take the month Limit Breaker slot, and instead this year would still follow the pattern of being free farming characters. I quite frankly didn't want that to happen. I want these characters to be really good. I like swimsuit characters. I like the designs, especially this one being Bambietta, Candice, and Menina. I don't want them just to be farmers. I want them to actually be good. And one of the ways of Caleb doing that is by making them a Limit Break quest character. And what we can see here is that slot 2 in particular is designed for the new Mugetsu, but slot 1 is designed from the looks of it to be for one of these characters. And the big question right now is between the 3 characters, Menina, Candice, and also Bambietta, who's going to be the Limit Breaker character? Because we can see here that this upcoming end of month character is going to include a Technique character, a melee Technique character with a Ranky killer, and they are going to be immune to freeze. Now, I'm kind of surprised, truth be told, that we are already getting a Technique Limit Breaker character, but I don't mind it because Technique definitely does need better characters. And the idea of potentially having a swimsuit Bambietta, Candice, or Menina be the best Technique character in the game does kind of get me excited. But I'm very surprised it's also another Technique Ranky killer, because that's what our last Limit Breaker character was, that being Rangiku. Now remember, just because you are a Limit Breaker character does not mean you're guaranteed to be the best character in the game. It still comes down to the skill set, it still comes down to the strong attacks. Rangiku is a perfect example of that. She is a Limit Breaker character, but she isn't like super OP to the likes of someone like Yatra Unohana and also Ishin. But truth be told, more often than not, if you are a Limit Breaker character, you are easily one of the best characters in the game. So we know right from the get-go, going into this end of month, that there is going to be a Technique character, a melee one, with a Ranka killer. And the question again is who of the 3 characters, Bambietta, Candice, and Menina, is going to be the Limit Breaker character? Now, your first thought might be, and it very well could be the case, Bambietta. Bambietta, after all, is the leader of the group. She's the most popular of the 3 in this upcoming banner. It would make sense for Caleb to make Bambietta the best character of the 3, right? Now, for some reason, again, we have no idea who it is going to end up being. I don't think it's going to be Bambietta. I really don't, because Bambietta is going to get a lot of characters in the future, right? She still has her upcoming Volstanic form, and she's probably going to get a zombie form in the future. So we're not short of any upcoming Bambietta. And the thing is, Bambietta's last character was also a Technique character, and it wouldn't be rare to see that, but it would be weird to see 2 Bambiettas come out and both of them be Technique. Now again, this has happened in the past. It does happen where 2 characters come out, same character, and they end up being the same attribute. Best example is actually this month. We got 2 Ichigos released in the course of a month, Visored and also Mugetsu, and they both ended up being power characters. It very well could still be Bambietta, despite her past version being a technical character. I just don't think it will be. And maybe it's worth mentioning, but Bambietta as a character has never been a melee character. Her past 2 versions have been ranged, but then again, they're canon characters. It makes sense. If Caleb really wanted to make a Swimsuit Bambietta a melee character, they could easily do that, but just by going from past 2 examples, Bambietta has been strictly a ranged character. I actually think personally that the character is going to be Candice. I think Candice might be the best character in the banner, the Limit Breaker character, because 1 out of the 3 characters thus far, she's the one that hasn't received a character in the longest set of time. You know, Menina received the character early this year, and then Bambietta received the character late last year. And honestly, my reasoning why it also could be Candice is just simply because of the hair color. Candice's hair color is green. Maybe it makes sense for her to be a green character. I don't know. I definitely don't expect it to be Menina though, I will say that. I'd be very surprised if it did end up being Menina. But when you do go into tomorrow's banner, before you even read the stats and skills, whichever character ends up being the second character, likely they're going to be the best character in the banner. Regardless of who that is going to be though, we can cross one off. We know one of them is going to be a second character with a rank killer designed for Limit Breaker. And with that, they might... Have we gotten a technical character with Rampage? I don't think we have. So maybe they're going to be a Rampage character. Maybe have a gauge effect, maybe have some type of enemies defeated skill. There's definitely a few things they could do with that character, and again, we'll find out tomorrow morning. As for the second character, I'm going to assume maybe one of them is going to be designed for Guild Quest, but we very well could get 1 Limit Breaker character and then 2 farmers in this banner, right? We don't need a dedicated Guild Quest character, because what we do see more often not with Limit Breaker characters is that they also have a lot of good crossover in Guild Quests. Like Ishin, for example, right, was designed for Limit Breaker, but he also ended up being like an amazing Guild Quest character in ways better than someone like Masaki, who was strictly designed to only be used in Guild Quests. Now, in this case, though, we have a look at the upcoming Guild Quest phases. We can see that at the end of the month, for the month of June, I doubt they're going to do anything for the Hollow Killer, but there is a potential chance we do get a current Stamrata killer. In this case, if that was to be the case, they could be a melee or range character. It doesn't really matter. And maybe they could end up being a normal attack damage character, or even a good SP character. Although, to be fair, the Stamrata GQ does have quite a few good characters, even normal attack damage characters to begin with, so I'm not really too set on Endermon being a character for this. I don't think I'd want that. If we scroll down even further though, and look at the upcoming Guild Quest phases, we can see here that again, the melee Aranka Guild Quest is coming up, so very likely that might get a nightmare difficulty to promote this new character. We do have range no affiliation Guild Quest, that is also relatively set in stone. They could definitely get a new character, and then there also is going to be the melee Squad Zero Guild Quest. So if we are to get a character in this banner designed for Guild Quest specifically, they could be a Stamrata killer, they could be a ranged no affiliation killer, or they could be a melee Squad Zero killer. And I'm going to assume if one of them was to be designed for Guild Quest specifically, they might end up being a normal attack damage character. Now, I also do believe that we are almost guaranteed to get a new Super Lynx of Farmer in this upcoming banner, mainly due to the fact that we haven't received a Super Lynx of Farmer in 2 months. Our last Super Lynx of Farmer was Noichura, the Future Society version. And I do like this character. I think he's an exceptional Lynx of Farmer, given the fact that he isn't tied behind just being a Lynx of Farmer. You actually can use him outside of Lynx of Farming duties and Guild Quest content, for example, given that he does have a high damage output, Frenzy 2, 80% SP boost, damage to lacerated. Overall, a very solid character, and I want to see more characters like that, or to the likes of someone like Senjumaru, where they're just significantly better in inheritance shots. Now, this upcoming banner is very likely to have a Mind Super Lynx of Farmer, because that attribute in particular is the longest attribute to get a new updated Super Lynx of Farmer. Since Senjumaru, we've gotten a speed character, we've gotten technique, speed again, we got a heart character, and the Mashiro isn't shown here because it is for a soul trait, but Mashiro was a power character. So Mind is the longest attribute to receive a new upgrade, and with that in mind, we're very likely to get a new Mind Super Lynx of Farmer. More specifically though, one giving Super Lynx of Potions through a soul trait. Because again, if we have a look at here, this is like the new generation of Super Lynx of Farmers. Every attribute has received one besides Minds. At the same time though, if Caleb do want to do this, I would love for 2 characters in this banner alongside the Limit Breaker character to be Super Lynx of Farmers, right? Because in this case, Power, despite them getting a Super Lynx of Farmer through the soul traits, you know, you can see it, Mashiro does give Super Technique Lynx of Potion +5 soul traits. She only gives +5 overall. Like, as of right now, Power does not have access to a +10 Super Lynx of Farmer, which is very unfortunate for the power attribute, but also as a character for Mashiro, right? Because if I was to use someone like Halibo, I'm getting plus 10 links or potions. If I was to use Aaroniero, I'm getting plus 10 links or potions. If I was to use Noritora, I'm getting plus 10 links or potions. Mashiro, if I was to use her, I'm only getting plus 5. But the mind attribute in general should be next in line for a super links or farmer. That's probably what the mind attribute needs most, to be fair. They don't need really good characters as of right now because we just got Ishin, we still have Yuha, we have White. Mind is in a really good position. If they were to get a new character, best case scenario for them to not be too crowded is just to get a new super links or farmer. And if we are to get a super links or farmer, I do believe it is going to be a Mind character. Potential chance it could be Power, but I don't think it would be. Mind should get their character next. But again, if there was to be 2 super links or farmers in this banner, Mind and Power would then make sense. So to wrap up the video, again, we know for certain this upcoming banner is going to be Menina, Bambietta, and Candice. We know for a fact we are going to be getting a melee technique of Ranky Killer. The question is, who is that character going to be? I'm going to assume Candice. But truth be told, while Bambietta has already received a technique character in the past, she is the most popular character. Maybe it makes sense for her to be the Limit Breaker character. Either way, though, whoever that character is going to be, they're definitely, in my opinion, going to be the highlight of the characters. I think we're going to get a Super Linkser farmer, in this case for the Mind attribute to farm Hut Super Linkser potion specifically. And in the first character, I think is going to be a nice character, maybe designed for GQ. Not really sure what killer they could have. At the same time, maybe they could be a power Super Linkser farmer, or in general, maybe they could just be an overall good character. They don't have to be specifically designed for a particular archetype. An overall strong SP character would always be welcomed. Either way, though, that was the video for today. I'm excited. Hopefully that's R2. In less than 12 hours time, we are going to be seeing Bambietta, Candice, and Menina in swimsuits. I can't believe that's actually happening. Let me know your prediction on the characters themselves in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and peace.